My name is Bill Sang.
And I'm Melissa.
And this is the Bill Sang Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about homeschooling. And so I brought my wife along because I can't talk about homeschooling without bringing the teacher of our children onto the program. So Melissa, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. You excited to talk about homeschool?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get right into it then. So Melissa, what was it that caused us to want to start homeschooling?
Well, we had Christian friends that all homeschooled, and we thought, well, I guess we'll try it out.
Yeah, very good. So what sorts of things have you found to be challenges as you started the homeschooling process? What were some maybe challenges you had to overcome where you had to adapt and change and get creative with it?
Yeah, we have two active boys, and so one is 7 and the other is 4. And so a lot of people, I know would like to homeschool, but they say, I could never get my kids to sit down, to learn anything. So yeah, that was for sure a challenge for us to begin with too.
Now, what did you think about homeschooling before we decided to go that route?
I thought it sounded like a great idea. I had no clue how to teach, and but nonetheless, I enjoy learning, and I thought I could give it a try.
Very good, very good. So, what has been your favorite part about teaching our children through this process of homeschool?
So I think a lot of kids separate education from Christianity. They don't know how to combine them because, all day for 12 years, they're in a secular education, and then, once a week they go to church. So they really have no clue how to combine what they learn with, the truth in the Bible. And I really, didn't always know, especially as a kid, and even in college, how to combine those two things. And, as an adult, I figured out how they go together. And especially as a teacher, I totally see, how everything, every subject goes hand in hand with the truth.
So what do you think is the biggest difference between having a homeschool education and an education through traditional schooling?
I think what's amazing is John Maxwell, he got all of his teachings on communication from the Bible, and Dave Ramsey got all of his money tips that he teaches from the Bible. And so the most important things we can learn, those come from the Bible. So to me, that is so encouraging. They can learn that, in our own home, and, combined with everything else that they get to learn.
So for somebody that hears you talking, you mentioned before that our children are a little more high energy. And for somebody that's listening to this that might be thinking about the possibility of going that route, but they might be thinking to themselves, yeah, we don't understand. I have 2 high energy children that I don't know how on earth I'm going to get them to sit down and listen. What sorts of tips would you have for somebody like that?
Yeah, we just have a routine. So every morning we have breakfast, read the Bible, and then every day except for Sunday, we do schoolwork right after that for hours. And, we take breaks in between. They know that they can do what they want when they're done. They can play outside, read, whatever.
So, okay, so we got that question out of the way. Now, let's think of somebody maybe has heard everything that you've said so far, and they're considering the possibility of engaging in a homeschool curriculum. Where is the best place to start?
I went to christianbook.com, and I actually called them. They gave me so much information over the phone, and I thought it sounded great. So we've used Abeka since, and just getting familiar with what there is to offer.
Now, did you ever see yourself as being a homeschool teacher before?
Not so much, because I didn't have any skills, in teaching. but if you have a desire to do something and if you have a reason, then you can always gain the skills.
Now, how do you see our relationship and scope of it all? I mean, I'm hoping that maybe I help out a little bit. In what ways do I come in handy in the homeschooling world?
Sometimes I don't know how, to maybe either, get our boys focused at a certain time of year, or maybe I don't know why they're not, wanting to follow through with their work. So a lot of times I'll just ask Bill for tips, just to change the strategy a little bit, and just remembering that the kids are being challenged every day. Learning's a challenge because they're going into something they don't know, how to do. They don't know, so they need a lot of encouragement also.
That's great. So do you have any final thoughts to wrap it up before we close out the program?
Encourage you to look into homeschooling. There's a lot of just so much out there, even conferences, books. Maybe doing, another podcast sometime on it. So, just be watching for that.
That's wonderful. Well, this is my wife, Melissa, here, and she's a great homeschool teacher. So we are so glad you're able to join us for today's episode of the Bill Sang program. I'm Bill Sang.
And I'm Melissa.
And this is the Bill Sang Podcast.
Black Swan Blues, take me home.